We are back like we never left. It's Mystic Perp Sports. We're going to draft from the 4th spot today in a 12-team PPR draft. Keep in mind, this is a live mock draft using FantasyPros feature. 4th pick. Let's get into it. All right, first pick is about to go down. Again, we are drafting from the 4th spot today. Let's see who goes number 1. We can probably assume it's going to be JJ, but I've been seeing a little range of people taking different people at pick 1. JJ, Jamar, McCaffrey, and there it is. There's McCaffrey. Number 2, JJ. Number 3, let's see who we are going to have to work around. I'll probably go with, let's go ahead and hide these drafted players. At number 3, we're either going to go with one of these receivers, obviously. Possibly Kelce we could take at the 4th. I haven't taken him in my first round in any of these drafts yet. I don't really like taking a tight end in the first round, even though it is Travis Kelce. I think we'll go ahead and either do that or Cooper Kupp just for, scientific reasons. Kupp, Kelce, Kupp, Kelce. We'll go with Kelce in this one. He doesn't have the injury concerns right now. He doesn't have the concerns of being shut down. Chiefs are obviously going to be a good team. He's the focal point of their passing game. Let's go with Kelce in round 1, and let's see how the rest of our team can turn out when we do that. After we took Kelce, though, Austin Eckler goes right off the board. So we've had 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and our tight end in Travis Kelce. So after Kelce, Eckler, Cooper Kupp, so he finally goes off the board. Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and then Bijan Robinson. So we have 5 receivers, 3 running backs, and 1 tight end that have been taken. Nothing too crazy right now. Everything's pretty standard, pretty normal. This is probably what you can expect in the first 9 picks. So nothing too groundbreaking right here. Just usually in different orders to a degree. It's either JJ first or McCaffrey first. Possibly sometimes Jamar Chase, and then Kelce's going anywhere from 3 to the end of the first, but he's usually not making it to the end of the first. After Bijan, CeeDee Lamb goes, and then Team 11 is going to make their next pick here. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes next, Saquon Barkley, and then AJ Brown. So the turn pick at the end went Barkley and Brown. And then the team that took St. Brown is going to be up next. We're going to be up decently soon. I would like to get a Patrick Mahomes stack if that's possible, but I'm really not too keen on forcing it. I don't know if I'd really go for that at the 209 right here. If he's there at the 3-4, I'll more than likely hammer that, but depending on who's left at 209, I don't want to leave the first 2 rounds more than likely without getting a good receiver or a good running back. So that's something to think about. It's something to consider if and when that does come up. So keep it in mind. A stack right there or a stack just in general, Kelce and Mahomes would be really good, but you also want to be considerate of maybe you might be taking Mahomes too early. But I've said it a few times, how early is too early for Mahomes? It's really up to personal preference right there. I already don't really like taking a tight end with my very first pick. So to catch up on who's been being drafted, Devontae Adams went after AJ Brown. Then we had Garrett Wilson go, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, and then Tony Pollard. So we're going to be up here after these next 2 picks. Let's see who's available. Mahomes is still there like we were just discussing. Let's take a look at the draft board. So Olave and Jalen Waddle went. I'm not going to force myself into Mahomes right here. I don't think, just based on Josh Jacobs being available. I don't know if I'd take Devontae Smith here. I'm not going to take Andrews. I'll take Josh Jacobs now that he's back with the team. He has his contract. He's in there. He's ready to play. So we're going to take Josh Jacobs and feel pretty good about that, in my opinion. And of course, we already have the best tight end wrapped up with our first pick. So decent start so far. We'll see how this continues. We'll see how this turns out. Okay, so after we went with Josh Jacobs, Devontae Smith Jonathan Taylor, Patrick Mahomes, Mark Andrews, Jalen Hurts, and Ramondre Stevenson. So we're not going to get our Mahomes stack. I could take Josh Allen here. Could take one of these receivers here. I would like to get a decent receiver before we go any further, but Josh Allen is really enticing here. So we're going to go with Josh Allen. I feel like in the third, that's pretty good value. Am I wrong for that? Is that too early for Allen? What do you all think? Should I have taken T. Higgins there? Should I have taken someone else there? Let me know. I've been taking Allen lately when he's been dropping to that middle of the third area. I just personally feel like I can't pass on that. You're guaranteeing yourself one of the top 3 elite quarterbacks. I know Burrow is, creeping up there. Justin Fields could have a really big year. Trevor Lawrence is obviously getting better, but I'm going to go with Josh Allen right here. So looking at our team, we have one of the top running backs, we have the top tight end, and we have one of the top quarterbacks. That's a good foundation. That's a solid foundation, but it's really going to come down to, is my receiving core going to look okay? Is that going to be flimsy? Am I going to be able to build something decent there? So that's probably who I'm going to look at with my next pick. We have, I consider Calvin Ridley there for sure. I would consider Deebo Samuel with my next pick. I would possibly consider DK Metcalf. I just know, as great as Metcalf is, you can get similar value with Lockett a little bit later. So that's always something that I kind of consider and think about. I don't know. I don't think I would take Deontay Johnson as my wide receiver 1, but I could always, change my decision on that. So looking at the draft board though, so after Josh Allen, we had Joe Mixon, Keenan Allen, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, Najee Harris, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amari Cooper, Aaron Jones, Travis Etienne Jr., and then Lamar Jackson. I would take Deebo at my next pick. I'm hoping that he can find his way to me, and I think I just spoke that into existence off the board too. Okay. So we're going to have to see who is available when that time comes. Alrighty, so after Deebo, DJ Moore goes, Joe Burrow, DeAndre Hopkins, and then Chris Godwin. So receivers are flying off the board. It's looking like we're not going to have the cream of the crop to pick from. That's okay. I know we just discussed Deontay Johnson and how I wouldn't want him as my 1, but with the build that we've decided to go with who was sniped in front of us, I'll go ahead and take him. That might be a reach, but I just know he's going to get volume. He's going to get targets. He's going to have to score some touchdowns this year. So we're going to go with Deontay Johnson there. Again, I just don't really like how my teams typically end up when I take Kelce in the first round, and that strictly is a personal opinion. I'm not saying that's a bad pick at all in the first round. I just really like to have good receivers on my team, and the way that the draft was falling, I felt like I couldn't pass up on Jacobs, and I felt like I couldn't pass up on Josh Allen. So that's why we decided to kind of wait for receiver right there, and that's how Deontay Johnson ended up as our 1. So after we went with Deontay Johnson, Breece Hall, TJ Hawkinson, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Christian Watson, and then Justin Fields, we're back up again. Who's the best available for what we have? We were talking about Tyler Lockett earlier. Kenneth Walker, I'd be happy to grab right here. Miles Sanders. I think I'll take my chances with some of these running backs coming around. I'm going to go with Tyler Lockett right now, and hopefully that pays off. That's our 5th pick. Might be a little early for him, but again, starting with tight end, I don't like how my teams turn out. This may be a very solid team though at the end of it. Brandon Ayuk goes after Tyler Lockett. Darren Waller goes after Ayuk. And it's going to be a little bit tore up again, so let's see how this keeps unfolding. Mike Williams, Justin Herbert. So after Herbert, Kenneth Walker goes, Miles Sanders, Dameon Pierce, Alexander Madison, Trevor Lawrence, George Kittle. Hopefully he's not too brittle this year. J.K. Dobbins, speaking of brittle, Dallas Goedert, James Conner. So it looks like a good amount of people, unfortunately, went to auto pick. A little more than I'd like, but just being on auto pick means that they're going to take the best consensus available. So maybe it'll make us work a little bit harder. But, you know, doing a real draft, you might have some people end up on auto pick, unfortunately. So, you know, this is all practice. We're just doing this live. Speaking of Bill O'Reilly, we're doing it live, and we're seeing how it turns out, and we're coming to you raw and unfiltered. So we're on the 6th pick. We're going to go for value here, of course. Jerry Jeudy would typically be someone I would consider, but he's obviously hurt. Alvin Kamara is going to be suspended the first 3 games, but I still like taking him right there. We're just going to have to pick someone else to plug in for him during his bye week. So on our next turnaround, maybe we can take Pacheco, Montgomery possibly, maybe James Cook. We'll just have to see how that ends up turning out. I would like to get Jordan Addison if we can in this draft. Maybe we take a running back after we take Addison if he's available. It's just, again, taking tight end first is tough for me personally. After Kamara, Cam Akers, Jerry Jeudy, Hollywood Brown, James Cook, Javonte Williams, and then Michael Pittman, we're back up on the board. We can either go with a possible flex option. We can go with one of these running backs. I think I'm going to have to go with a running back because we'll have some options available over here that we could throw in as flex. We have immediate concerns with Alvin Kamara, and I'm going to go ahead and take David Montgomery. So he'll fill in for us when we need him to fill in at running back, and then he can also, of course, be considered a flex option for us. So on the next turnaround, I'm probably going to target a receiver. I would take Dotson, I would take Pickens, I would take Addison. If Mike Evans makes it to us, maybe, but I'm just not a fan of the receivers in Tampa this year. I don't really want to put eggs in a basket that Baker Mayfield is going to be cooking with. I'm not too sure I want to do that, but that's just a personal preference too. So after we took DeAndre Swift goes, Dalvin Cook, Isaiah Pacheco, Mike Evans, Deshaun Watson, Jahan Dotson, George Pickens, Jordan Addison, Brandon Cooks, Cortland Sutton, JSN, Gabe Davis. So looks like literally everybody on auto pick took every single receiver that I wanted. So that's just a curveball that we're going to have to deal with. That's a curveball that, hopefully will make people better at drafting, make me better at drafting. Let's see how I can recover for that, because I need these receivers just keep going. They just keep going. That is insane. Zay Flowers, Juju, Michael Thomas. I would take Michael Thomas, but we already have Kamara, and I don't really want to take more New Orleans players. It's not really a fan of what I want, done to my team, although it is a mock draft. Antonio Gibson goes, so we're going to be up after this next pick. We need to start to figure out who we'd consider and who we take. Jerick McKinnon feels like too early at this point. Who just got taken? Evan Ingram just got snapped up. So we're up. We're against the clock. Might just have to go Zay Flowers here. Bank on him having a decent year. So we'll go with that. We'll get some more receiving in our lineup just in case. Even though I do want more receiving in our lineup, we'll go with him. See how this draft board is unfolding. So after we took Zay Flowers, Juju Smith goes, and then Khalil Herbert. So we'll be up again pretty soon here. So after Herbert, A.J. Dillon, Elijah Moore, Michael Thomas, Jacoby Myers, we're back up. Who's the best available depth that we can snag? Brian Robinson is tempting. Quentin Johnston is tempting. We'll go with Quentin Johnston. We'll bank on another rookie. We'll take him. Be happy with that, in my opinion. So we got some youth over there on the bench. I'm happy with that pick right there. So after we took Quentin Johnston, looks like the team who just took Evan Ingram is going to be up next. After Quentin Johnston, Tua Tagovailoa, Sky Moore, Pat Freiermuth, Rashad Bateman, Kadarius Toney, Nico Collins, Brian Robinson Jr., Alan Lazard, Romeo Dobbs, Samaje P. Ryan, Tyler Boyd, Zach Charbonnet, Rondale Moore. So auto pick has Team 12 going crazy on these receivers. They already have 3 decent running backs, so maybe auto pick isn't going too crazy in that sense, though. We're going to be up here in a few picks. We have 3 running backs, 4 receivers. Okay, so Jerick McKinnon, Daniel Jones, and then Jamal Williams. We're back here again. Let's go with Jaylen Warren. Like how he's looking out in Pittsburgh. He's looking really explosive. He's looking fluid. I like the upside there. We'll go ahead and take that, almost end of the 10th round right there without hesitation. But then Zay Jones comes off the board, Rashad Penny, Damian Harris, and then Raheem Mostert. Team 2 is going to be getting their next pick here. Devon Achane, Odell Beckham. We're back up. Let's see what we have. We could take another receiver. We could take another running back, obviously. We'll go with a running back here. I'll go with Tyler Algier. I've taken him a few times in these drafts too. But at the current value, I'm happy to take him if something happens with Bijan. But he's good enough on his own too as a plug-in when you might need him. Keep in mind we have Kamara who's going to be suspended, so we'll see how things are looking. Back to the draft board though. So after we took Tyler Algier, David Njoku goes, Rashawn Johnson, Darnell Mooney, Adam Thielen, Jamison Williams, Dalton Schultz, Michael Gallup, Tyler Higbee, Jeff Wilson Jr., Kirk Cousins, Elijah Mitchell, Geno Smith, and then Okonkwo. So a very, diverse assortment of players going right there. A few tight ends, a few running backs, quarterbacks, and receivers. So our team right now, how's it looking? We got our tight end, obviously, in Kelce. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs, 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers. So we're going to take a receiver on this next pick, which that was pretty much the plan last time anyways. Chark is injured. Peoples-Jones is going to be the 3. Pierce, I'm not touching a receiver over there in Indianapolis, excuse me. I'll go ahead and take Isaiah Hodgins towards the end of the draft. There's a near 100% chance. That's great, but there's also a 100% chance that I just took him right now, and I'll be happy with that. That's fine. Cole Kmet, Niners defense, DJ Chark, Kenneth Gainwell. We're going to make one more position that's not defense and kicker. So Devin Singletary, Tank Bigsby. We're up here again. We could take Zeke as one of our last picks. Could take Kendre Miller. That could be the direct replacement for Alvin Kamara. Right now, we could take Tajay Spears in case something happens with Henry. We'll go ahead and take where is it? Kendre Miller as a handcuff, just in case. He could be plugged in if we really want him to. I'm not planning on doing that for the first 3 games, but we'll have a handcuff for Kamara if, God forbid, something were to happen later on in the season. So Kendre Miller goes, Ezekiel Elliott, Jaden Reed, Dallas Cowboys defense, Deonta Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, Jerome Ford, Dalton Kincaid, Tajay Spears, Philly defense, Justin Tucker, Buffalo Bills defense, Tyler Bass, New England Patriots defense. We're going to be up pretty soon. We're going to wrap it up with our defense and our kicker. Carlson just went off the board. I saw that happen. I'd rather get a kicker that I'm a little bit more confident in than a defense on my next pick, but we'll see how that unfolds. So after Carlson, the Jets defense goes Butker. Let's go ahead and take our kicker right here. Could take McPherson, could take Younghoe. We'll go with McPherson. We know Cincinnati's going to get down the field pretty easily, so we'll be happy with that. I would have taken Koo. He was my next choice, but we'll rock with McPherson in this one. Then Sanders, then McManus. So we're up with our very last pick. We'll take our defense here. Could go Steelers, could go Saints. I don't want to have too much things going on with the Saints, too much exposure. Chiefs, we'll go with Steelers defense here. We'll call it a day with that. And we'll wait on FantasyPros to see what they give us. Starting tight end, they liked it, but I didn't really like it. I'm not, the most excited about my receivers, but they're really not too bad. So that's how it ended up today. From the 4th overall position, taking Kelce with our first, Josh Jacobs next, and then Josh Allen. So those were our top 3 picks. What do you guys think of this draft? Would you take a tight end first? Is that something that you would consider? Obviously, it would be Kelce, but do you like to build your teams like that? Or do you prefer to go maybe 0 RB, hero RB, double wide receiver? Like, what's the strategy that you all like to, employ the most? Or what's the most beneficial in your eyes this year? But anyways, thank you so much for watching today. Mystic Perp Sports. We're going to be finishing out our mock draft soon here. A couple more picks to go. NFL season is almost here. Please like, please subscribe. I will catch you on the next video. Thank you so much for your time, and peace out.